Okay, this is Shiloh's first ride. It's February 17th, 2016. I cut a little of the beginning of just getting her to lead and change directions on the fence. We've done this all before. I've had a problem with this horse getting her to move forward, as you'll see. She has a functional short leg on the right front and was really jammed up. She's had a couple of chiropractic sessions because she just couldn't bend her neck at all and was really stiff in the shoulders and withers. Her neck and withers were extremely atrophied, and that's why it's taken a while to get on her. So I've done this before, gotten on and off her a couple of times, but today, finally, at last, is the real deal. And I should say that it took multiple sessions to even be able to get up on the panels. She did not like that at all. She didn't want me to be above her. She didn't want me to touch her. She didn't want to come next to the panels. So this is, quite a lot of groundwork already. And you can see, and as you can see, I am terrible with a rope. I have to say I'm really grateful that I've had the luxury of time with her. I don't think, well, first given her condition when she came in, but also she was, she just wasn't a 90-day horse, and I'd rather have a horse with a good attitude. She likes to go at her own pace, and I'm fine with that. And I'm going real slow here. I've done a lot of body work on her, so we communicate a lot through touch, doing a lot of rewarding, and I just wasn't sure what I was going to get because she has been really pissy at times. A lot of the pissy behavior has been related to, being uncomfortable or being in pain. But, it's time. I've had her for 4.5 months. The first 2 months were spent just putting weight on her, doing some groundwork, a lot of putting weight on. And then I was gone for a few weeks, and then I moved her up here, and then it was starting more taking that weight and starting to engage her a little bit more. She had a big old hay belly and was sway backed, roach backed, and like I said, really unable to bend and had no neck. And she's not a moving forward horse, as you can see. um, she has trouble even cantering in this round pen. Only recently have I been able to get her to canter, a couple of times around because she's very stiff. And I actually cut a little bit of this because she just couldn't figure out what I wanted. So I was trying a few different things, and ultimately tapping her on the rump with the rope was what worked. By the end of the session, she's starting to move forward a little more just from my leg, but mostly it's been having to get after her a little bit with the rope. I'm just tapping very, very lightly. She understands what that means from our groundwork. So it's not that I'm hitting her. She just understands, the tap of the rope. And sooner or later, she's going to move. Really. Now I'm just trying different things. Some legs, some movement, just something to try and get her to take that first step. And here I was all nervous, I've got my chaps, I got my helmet on, I postpone this for bad weather. Then I pulled a hamstring and, just different things. And I had, a little apprehension because, like I said, she can be pissy sometimes. But I've also done a tremendous amount of desensitization because, 4 months ago, she just presented her butt. She's nippy. She just, you know, she definitely has had some attitude. And there we go. You're like, oh my God, I took a step. So I'm still figuring it out a little bit here about what it's going to take to move her. And she's also, you're going to see, the whole first 10-15 minutes as we're walking, especially the first 5 minutes, she's processing having weight on her back, and I'll be able to show you how that develops. Part of it is she's not sure what I want, and part of it is she's got weight on her back for the first time, significant weight. Not that I'm significant, but And I'm just letting her go wherever she wants, as long as she's moving, and I have to keep encouraging that. There's a little tail switching, but not much. You see here my right stirrup is much longer than my left. And my stirrups are actually even, but that's her dropping on that right shoulder. And that's why I said she's processing. She's trying to figure out how to rebalance herself. I'm trying to move the saddle because I'm feeling unbalanced myself. And I know a lot of people probably would have wanted to move her forward, really get her stepping out and having, life in the body and some energy. But she's really turned inward right now and processing this new sensation. And I think that for me to get after her would have deprived her of that opportunity. I've been doing a lot of proprioceptive work on the ground, body wraps, trying to get her to figure out where her feet are, stepping up and down on platforms, going over cavaletti, which has helped a lot because she is like the world's clumsiest Mustang. She smashes into stuff and just does not know where her feet are. So much better now. I had to start her cavaletti about a little over 2 feet apart, or she tripped on them, and now they're 4 feet apart. That's a big difference. And all I'm asking her to do here is just to keep walking. And you can see here my stirrups are a little more even now. Just moving her hindquarters. She's much stiffer to the left, as you'll see. It's really hard for her to bend that head to the left. On the right, she'll just bend right around and touch my boot. But on the left, not so much. So I let her get away with it this time. It's the first time that I asked for it. It was kind of interesting. At first she chose to circle to the left for a while, and then later she decides to circle to the right for a while and really gets stuck going to the right. I got to tell you, sitting on her there, I'm trying to shift that saddle again, and it's not that the girth is not tight enough. She's crooked too. So when she changes direction, when she goes off to the left, I thought, oh my God, I've got a messed up horse. She felt just horrible when she circled to the right. Because that puts that short right leg on the inside, and she dropped that shoulder, and for a minute there I thought I might really have a problem, but she does process it and she figures it out. I get better with the rope thing as time goes on. I know this can be pretty dull, so feel free to skim through this, skim forward, because there's a lot of repetition of just trying to get her to move forward and then yielding the hindquarters. Oh my God, we have a trot. And I gotta say, I mean, I know she's not moving out, but she's got a trot like a big old couch, man. It's the most comfortable trot I think I've ever sat. And I wasn't really sure what I was going to get. I felt fairly confident, but, the first time I got up on the panel, she had a cow. Um, it's been a few weeks that I've been just putting some weight in the saddle, using the sand pants, different things like that. So I'm pretty pleased that I didn't really get any reactivity to me being on her. She did not like me being up over her in the beginning, and this has just been a real gradual step-by-step process. You see, I'm asking her now just to keep going in the direction that she's going. Let's explore the right hand there. She's a very heavy on the forehand horse with a huge butt, built kind of downhill, although there's been a lot of improvement there already. So it's going to be a challenge to get her butt under her and get her rebalanced and continue with the flexibility. But I think it's no coincidence that a horse like that came to a person who's been a body worker and movement educator for 30 years. So there you go. So we're going to try to yield the hindquarters here. And then just yield the head, flex the neck a little bit. This is the stiff side. And so you couldn't touch her head like that just even a couple of months ago. So the right side's much more flexible. And she's not light on the left side. She does this very good on the ground when we've done groundwork, but me being on her back now, it's a new situation. And there she goes. I find that this horse needs a lot of time to process information too. When she's learning something new and we start to get stuck a little bit, if I go away, rather than demanding better execution, if I just go away and leave her alone for a while, when I come back, I think she's spot on. And you'll notice that, I don't know if yeah, she'll do it here. She starts on her own. She starts moving in figure eights. I'm still just asking her to move forward, but for a while she starts doing a figure eight thing. Now I'm going to ask her for the first time to just keep moving in the direction that she's moving. At this point I started to feel her be a little more balanced. You'll see my stirrups are much more even, so she's, taking all that time to walk has helped her rebalance herself and sort of figure out that she has to support that shoulder a little bit and what to do with me. More flexing. It's that sticky left side. And I'm just trying to figure out what's going to work for her better. The rein a little lower or the lead rope rather a little higher. And mostly she just doesn't want to bend to the left. To the right, she'll go right over and chew on my boot. Yeah, that was kind of a cheater. I'll take it. Again, I'm asking her just keep moving, just stay at that gait. Because believe me, if she could just stop, stand still, and eat hay, She'd be perfectly happy. And what you don't really hear here is there is a whole lot of clucking going on. Whole lot of clucking. And again, I'm not going to really drive her harder because she is with me. She's processing and she's with me, so I just didn't see any need to, um, you know, push her past her threshold and get her upset. Pretty decent yield on the hindquarters for a first ride. Not so hot to the right that time, but I'll take it. She got a little stuck there. And she's getting a little frustrated now, just ever so slightly, getting a little distracted by stuff going on outside the pen. You know, I'm going to just keep asking her to move forward. Again, now she's choosing to figure eight a little bit, which I think is sort of interesting as she's trying to put together how to balance this weight thing. And seeing her moving out just a little bit better now. So I don't have like a full-on one-rein stop, but stopping this horse is not really a challenge at this point. So I'm also trying to include just a lot of transitions, um, you know, so that I'm stopping her when she is moving forward, so that she's not, I'm not trying not to reward her for stopping on her own volition, but asking her to stop when I ask her to. If she wants to stop on her own, then I want her to keep moving because I didn't ask for a stop. Now, at some point pretty soon here, I'm going to ask her to not turn to the right, but to turn to the left. And we're going to have a little discussion about that. Because she's doing a thing where she feels like she's going to turn left, and then she suddenly turns right, and it's a little unsettling. It's a good way to get thrown, for me anyway, if I zig when and then she zags. Now here, yeah. That's got a little bit better. We're just taking a little breather in the middle of the round pen. I kept hoping that she would use the whole pen, but she kept cutting through the middle like that, doing these figure eights and small circles, but that's actually probably better for her flexibility to work on that a bit too. She is a very poopy horse. So she's moving a little bit more now. I'm not having to push her quite as hard to keep her going. I've, I've never had a horse that I've had to kind of push so hard to move forward, so it's a little different experience for me. But I think as she continues to feel better and build muscle and get more balanced, she'll be more willing to do that. And I'm kind of looking at where her feet are because she feels very uneven to me because she's not standing square, but she feels much more uneven than she looks standing there. which is why I was kind of checking it out. And I'm going to try to back her up. And she's going to try to give me those neck flexes instead. Trying to figure out what I want. There we go. Is that what you want? And I'm probably asking a little more of her than I would of a really, really fresh horse, but we've done so much groundwork. I feel like I can ask her a little bit more for the things that I know she knows. Here she started to the left and then tried to all of a sudden zigzag to the right, and I'm just at this point saying, no, you're going left, you're going to keep going left. And getting a little bit more directional. Because she was getting really sticky over there by where that red panel is. And I could have pushed her a little harder and asked her to step out more, and I know a lot of people probably would have tried to get a lope out of her. But as I said, she has a hard time cantering in that round pen, even unmounted, and on the right side there's still some mud. It's still a little slippery in there. Luckily for us, we're not in any kind of competition, so there's no time pressure. It's a bad angle, but I'm just waiting for her because she does not want to flex to the left. Move that butt over. And again, she's feeling really uneven to me, so I'm kind of looking to see where are her feet really. Is she really that out of alignment? But a lot of it is just the shoulders. So I'm measuring, looking down on her shoulders here and seeing that the left shoulder is much more developed than the right shoulder. There's just more muscle on the left shoulder. And just kind of working down through there, I'm feeling it, seeing what it feels like to me, and also just giving her a little rub through the front of that shoulder blade. We've been working on releasing those shoulder blades a lot, and it's helped, but it's still got a ways to go. And I don't know if you can tell, but I mean, she's a whole lot more balanced than she was when we started. She's figuring it out, even though she would prefer to go to the right. And she's dropping. I can see my right stirrup is really long again, so I mean she's more balanced, but she prefers to go this way. And part of that may be me too, you know, my butt's not perfect. Yeah, she got sticky there, and I just kind of tapped her with the rope because she knew what I was asking and just was being a little sticky. I think we're getting a little toasty at this point. But she does that. Occasionally I have to remind her that it's not optional. It doesn't take much. There you have it.